Welcome to Unity. Let's go. This is physics updates at timescale 0. And basically, when you pause your game or you set the timescale of Unity to 0, physics updates don't happen anymore. So here I have an example where if I go into this mode and I press Q, oops, then I'm putting the timescale to 0. So I can select different objects, but this manipulator tool, it runs on physics updates. And so I can no longer grab it and move objects. But I do have a little bit of a workaround where I can actually grab objects with G and move them with the mouse. The problem with this, though, is that it requires the physics updates in order to update where the new position of the objects are. So if I were to try to select this object after unselecting it, I can't select it anymore. And what I actually have to do is select where it started, and that will be what ends up getting selected. It's weird, right? So in order to work around this, we can either change the timescale to 0.01 and make it really slow. So here, if I unpause time and then I pause it again, we can see here that this object is moving really slowly. But this does give us the ability to select the object and move it. And because time physics is getting updated 0.01, time, then that means that our object can be selected even after we move it. But the problem then becomes that because we're updating so slowly, you'll see it actually takes a little bit for the manipulator handle to recognize that the mouse is over top of it. And I'll do that again. So did you see how there was that little bit of delay? That's a problem. So the solution to this is basically every time we want to like select something or unselect it, which is essentially click it and then let go of the click, we need to do a physics update and we need to manually push that. So here I have a time physics handler, which let's go into it. And basically I'll scroll down here. This is the most important stuff. And basically what we're doing is we are turning the time scale into a really low number. So it's going to be 0.01. It could be 0.001. We just need to change the time step to something that's non-zero. And then we need to switch the simulation mode. We're storing the simulation mode right now, which is physics simulation mode. And we need to eventually convert it into a script simulation mode. This means that when we do physics.simulate time.fix delta time, it actually runs. If you don't switch it to simulation mode.script, then it will not work. So you need to switch the physics simulation mode to script, and then we need to run a for loop. Now this means that it's running through, we do 2 frames. It needs 2 frames minimum. If you only put 1 frame, like wait till end of frame, or you just run it through once, it doesn't work. So you need to go through 2 times for it to actually register. And then once it does that, then we can hop back into the original physics simulation mode, which was physics.simulation mode, and we can reset the time to timescale equaling 0. Now, this is all run in a coroutine, so we need to have a way of calling that coroutine, and that is getting called by subscribing to the mouse click, which is done through, for me, it's done through the new input system. And so here I have a general selection dot performed and one for canceled. And basically, if the time scale does not equal 1, then we are going to go ahead and run it. So with that being said, I'm going to enable the use time adjuster, and we can see now that the car is no longer moving, and we can move objects immediately. Oops. So I can hover over them and it gets lit up. And then if I move it and I select it, it means I can select these things. So we get rid of all the problems that we had before. It just requires, this time scaling handler. Anyway, that's it. Hope it was helpful. I'll check you later.